Alright, before I start the video, I'd like you to check the pinned comments and description in case there's any updated information about this machine. Thank you. Alright, so today I'm going to be going over essentially a redesign and updated in-depth tutorial of my Redstoneless How Did We Get Here machine. If you're having trouble using it, this might solve some of your problems and make it more clear on what you need to do. So basically what you want to do is you want to set up a little base for it. Now, what you want to do is you do want to have the beacon at a specific location. You want to have the head of the beacon 1 block below the water. That is important because in this new modification for my design, it is so that you can get what's it called? Beacon swap. How did we get here? In case you fail the first one, which could happen. Alright, so now I'm going to go over the actual building tutorial for this machine. So what we want to do is place 3 blocks there, on this block that's diagonal from the beacon. We want to place 3 blocks underneath that, right here, not directly underneath it. And then after that, we place 2 blocks here, and a block here. After that, on this edge block here, we place 2 blocks up, we place 2 blocks towards us, and then we put a block here. And then after that, we put a block here, and we put a block here. And then after that, all you have to do, go inside here, place a pressure plate, put the dispenser down, put the redstone dust down, place the wither rows. There is one last thing that you may want to do, and that is placing a block here, here, and then placing a slab or any other transparent block like a leaf on there, like a transparent full block. This is so if you're doing beacon swap, you won't get knocked out because you'll see. But then once that's set up, what you want to do is go and get your shulker on land, and then bring it over here. Near here. Grab your boat. The shulker should teleport to it, though. Yeah. Or it'll just stay up there. And so then what you want to do is just place the shulker to where it's not shooting anymore. Usually it shoots from the center of the bottom of the boat, so as long as that's covered up by blocks, you should be fine. And so this is pretty much the design. It's better because you don't have to go out of your way to build the beacon swap design. It includes that in this design, so you don't have to worry about that. And for those wondering what beacon swap is where you swap the haste out for resistance on the beacon while you're doing How Did We Get Here, so you do not need the enchanted golden apple, because that gives you what's it called? That gives you resistance, fire resistance, regeneration, absorption, all that kind of stuff. And so that was the basic build design, and now that we're done with that, I'm going to go into actually doing How Did We Get Here. Alright, so before How Did We Get Here, I want to go over a couple of things. One, you don't have to use a fence post with the lead. You can just have the lead attached to yourself while you go in and do How Did We Get Here, like this. See, I can still get dolphin sprays. And that might even be better, I don't know. If you do use the fence post, you'll probably want to put it in about that position, and always be sure the dolphin isn't chasing anything. This setup is pretty range sensitive because I have invisibility, which lowers your range. With full armor, it's not going to be lowered that much. And speaking of that, if you do have depth strider boots, which do not work with this design, of course, or at least they're incredibly inconsistent. Not incredibly, but they are inconsistent. You do want to take them off, and I would suggest just making another pair of boots. You know, you can make them out of gold, iron, leather, anything. Whatever you have, just make another pair of boots and use those. Alright, so now that I'm done with those talking points, I'm going to go over getting How Did We Get Here. So, I've got all the potions I need. You can either have splash potions or regular potions, but they're fine. It's just splash potions here for faster using. And now we want to get out our 4 key items in our hotbar, which is the Enchanted Golden Apple, or Egap, the Pufferfish, the Blindness Suspicious Stew, and a tool. Now we need a tool because otherwise we cannot break the boat that the shulker is in. The boat is used to stop the shulker from shooting us, and we want to break it before we use the machine so it can hit us. We have weakness, so we can't break it with our hands, so we need a tool to do that. And a pickaxe is a common tool that people has that won't do a lot of damage to the shulker, like a sword or an axe. You can use though, but it might be risky. Now that we have the key items, there is one thing that we can do, and that is eat the Egap. The effects we need from the Egap last a really long amount of time, so we don't really have to worry about that. And then after we do that, and after we get in the machine, we want to break the boat the shulker is in, and now it can attack us. I am going to be going over a new thing you can do to help make How Did We Get Here more consistent. A lot of people are having issues with getting hit by arrows. This is essentially double dipping, as I like to call it, with the arrows. So once we break the boat, we want to go down here and get hit by an arrow. Then we go up and then let the shulker hit us with, and if he's being shy, we can go down here and get hit again. And then, go back up here and get hit. And so the glowing effect lasts for 10 seconds, so we should still have it. And if not, we're still going to go through the machine and be fine. So now that I have the glowing effect and I have been hit by the shulker, what I am going to do is I'm going to swim into the bottom corner. While doing that, holding sprint and forward to make sure I have Dolphin's Grace. And then while I'm in that corner, I will eat the pufferfish. And while I eat the pufferfish, I'm still going to have sprint and forward held just so I can have the maximum amount of Dolphin's Grace time because it's dependent on you sprinting. Then after I eat the pufferfish, I'm going to swim through the machine. I will get hit by the arrow, and then I will float to above the wither rows. And then once I am there, I will eat the suspicious stew. Just a quick note, if I didn't say it, while you're doing this, you do want to eat the pufferfish here, or your food here, so you can eat technically both the blindness stew and the pufferfish here. And then just go in here and get it. What you do not want to do is you do not want to eat it while you're going through, because if you do that, you're going through a lot slower and you could activate it and have the arrow miss you like just then. And so now I'm gonna go down this, eat the pufferfish, go over here, get hit by an arrow, suspicious stew. And I got How Did We Get Here? And that should be it if I haven't forgotten anything. So now I'm going to be going over Egapless or beacon swap. So the only difference between beacon swap and normal How Did We Get Here is you're not going to be using an enchanted golden apple, you're going to be using a regular golden apple. You're going to need some ingots in your inventory, you know, something you can use to change the beacon. I suggest having multiple just in case something happens while you're doing beacon swap. You want to have a fire resistance potion, which you can either get from piglins or make it yourself with magma cream. And that should be it. The order of operations here is pretty much the same, except first you want to swap the beacon effect. So we still want the golden apple first. We also want to make sure we have this potion, and we still want the pickaxe out. And then, of course, the ingots to swap. Now, the main thing that we're going to be doing differently here is we are going to be opening the beacon and putting an ingot in there, and basically preparing everything to swap the beacon effect while we're waiting for the shulker to hit us. And I'll basically show you more what I mean once I do this. But like the enchanted golden apple, I can go ahead and eat this apple right now since the absorption, which is the effect we need, lasts a long time. Then I can get in the machine, I can break the shulker out. And before I do anything, okay, the shulker's going to hit me now, but you do not want to rush through this part because you have a long time on the absorption. There's no need to rush. So what you need to do is open this, put an item in there, and then get ready to swap it. Now, I'm at too low of a level right now, so it won't swap. So what I need to do is kind of float up a bit more, put the item in there, and get this prepared to swap. So now when the shulker hits me, I can do that, and then do the normal procedure. And that is very important because one of the hardest parts about beacon swap is the fact that you have to do a little bit more in this limited period of time So, preparing the swapping of the beacon effects ahead of time while you're waiting on the shulker to hit you is very beneficial. And you'll notice there, when I was doing beacon swap, I kind of had to, since I went a bit low, I had to kind of float back up so the shulker would actually be able to see me and hit me again. Since you have slow fall and you're like falling through water, you kind of stay in the air for a while. And since we have these blocks here, it won't knock us out or anything. So all we have to do is open this up, prepare it ahead of time, get the effect that we need, and then we can just hit the check mark. You don't have to hit regeneration again, that stays. Yeah, that's the improved video tutorial where I go into more detail. Hopefully you guys understand how to use this more, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope everything made sense. If you have any questions, just ask in the comments. And remember, make sure to check the pinned comments and description if I have anything else to say. I'll also put a reminder there on some important information to know. Thank you.